Okay, so that was the Ninja by NALEX. Very nice amp, completely free. Now I'm going to show you a basic way to set up the Ninja and a cab simulator in Reaper, which is completely free. So all of this is free, so long as you have a guitar input. So for me, I'm using my good old faithful Yamaha THR-10X because that plugs in by a USB cable into the side of my laptop, wherever it is there. Now, generally speaking, if you've got any guitar input that plugs in with USB, then Reaper will accept it as an ASIO device, so you should be fine. So you've got like the Focusrite Scarlett Solo, you've got that Roland thing that has the little dials on the front, that can go in through USB, the Boss GT6, I think it's called, or something like that. Anyway, so long as it plugs in through USB, then generally speaking, Reaper will pick up on that. So you have to, for instance, in this case, I plugged it in, I went onto Google, typed in Yamaha THR-10X USB driver, very important, installed it, now Reaper sees it. So, next thing you need to do is download and install Reaper. Most of you have probably already done that. So, if not, go onto Google, type in Reaper. That's probably going to come out with all sorts of stuff about the Grim Reaper. Ah, no, it's alright, it's cool, it's cool. So, Reaper, audio production without limits. I just want to say, my computer is currently in a box, so I'm running off my laptop, which means I can't do any video editing. So this is just going to be one long video of me talking nonsense. So I can't edit any of this stuff out. This is going to be a very personal journey for me and you. I think you should appreciate that. Anyway, so we've Googled Reaper. Go on to Reaper Audio Production Without Limits. There's a button at the top, and then you can download it for Windows or download it for Mac if you're into that kind of thing. But anyway, download for Windows. Most people are on 64-bit Windows these days. If you're on 32-bit Windows, I imagine it will tell you when you're installing it and go, this isn't going to work, download the other one. So download that, install Reaper. I'm not going to show you through that because I've already installed it and it's very straightforward. So I'm sure you can figure that bit out. On to the most important bit. Get in the amp. On your computer, we need to make a folder for VST files. VST files are your virtual instruments, so your amps, your cab sims. If you download other instruments like pianos, basses, guitars, you can download all kinds. We just need a place to put them. So we're going to pretend that that VST file isn't there. And I've just gone into my documents folder. I'm going to make a new folder. We call it VST. Go into the folder. Click up here at the top. And you see it lights up, and that's your file path. See, users, Mike, that's me. Documents, VST. Copy that file path. And you can close the window. Now, open up Reaper. It'll look a little bit like this, blank slate. You might, on your first time running it, have a message pop up. The thing that keeps Reaper free is that you are technically evaluating the software. So, you have to wait, read the little disclaimer that says you're evaluating the software, and after I think 4 or 5 seconds, a little button lights up. I don't know why that didn't happen on my computer. Anyway, a little button lights up and you can click still evaluating, and that's what makes Reaper free. So it's a DAW, is that what they're called? DAW. Yeah, it's a DAW that you don't have to pay for, and it's great. So you're in Reaper, you're here. I'm getting distracted and trailing off. Anyway, click the options button on this menu at the top. Click options. Go to the bottom of the list, click on preferences, and this window appears. Now you go on this scrolly little list to the side, all the way to the bottom. You'll see under plugins is VST. Under plugins, VST. The only bit we're interested in, there's a lot of information, the only bit we're interested in is these. These are the file paths for your VST plugins. Now there's going to be a load of stuff already in here. Push the end key on your keyboard to get to the end. Put in a semicolon. And then you need to paste in that file path that we copied. Right click, click paste. That dumps in that folder that we had earlier. Remember that one? This one right here. That folder that we made. Remember, we came in here, we clicked up there, we copied that file path, We've gone into Reaper, we've pasted it in there, click OK. Now Reaper will be able to look in that folder for all of your virtual instruments, so we have a place to download and store them. Isn't that great? Come out of Reaper, we don't need that anymore. We need to now download the Ninja app. So, go back onto your internets, go onto a Google search and type in NALEX Ninja. You still with me? Yeah, you're doing good. There it is, that top one there. Ninja amp and preamp NALEX amp sim. Give that a click. There it is, inchy gorgeous. Now there's a couple of things you're gonna need to download. I like to download the impedance curves as well as the amp. It does come with its own impulse responses, but there's another one that I'm using. Just pause for a second. I'm using a lot of words that you don't understand, but it's okay. I'm a dictionary. An impulse response is effectively a cab sim. It's a cabinet simulator. So you know on your big amps you use at gigs, you got the amp head, you plug that into the cab at the bottom. This is doing that on the computer. Impulse response is a cabinet. So we're not going to, in this instance, download the Ninja IR, the Ninja impulse response, the Ninja cab sim. See? We're not going to download that because we're going to use something else. But you can download that if you want. It's entirely up to you. I would recommend the impedance curves though. Download those. Let's give that a click. Okay, apparently it comes up like this on Google Chrome. So there's a little download button up in the top right there. And give that a click. There you go, she's downloading. So we've got the impedance curves. Next, go down a little way and you'll see this top one here is the one we want if you're on Windows. Windows, VST, 32-bit and 64-bit, Ninja version 3 VST. Give that a click. And same again, click download. Right, so we've got the amp, got the impedance curves, and now we need to download cabinet. Because we've got the amp head here, we need to download the cabinet. Now to get the cab sim, you need an impulse response loader. Don't worry, I can hook you up with one for free. We're going to be using the Pulse Impulse Response Loader by Lancaster Audio, I think they're called. So back onto Google, type in Pulse. I have a squeaky keyboard. Pulse, Lancaster Audio, there it is. Give this link a click. Click the download in brackets free button. The way it works on this website is it puts it as a transaction. So you have to add it to your cart, you have to go through the basket, go through a checkout, add your email, your contact details, all that sort of stuff. But you don't actually pay a penny. You don't have to enter any card details. So just follow me. Add to cart. There you go. It's in the cart. Go to the checkout. I don't know if you actually need to put anything in here or not. Yeah, you probably do before you click on place order, because they're going to need to know your email address. So the red asterisks, the red little stars next to stuff means you have to put that in. So I'm going to put in Mike. My surname is Shlaminanim. For those of you who didn't already know. And then you want to put in your email address, which is Shlaminanim Mike at email.com. Create an account password. It wants you to create an account. So if you're actually using a legitimate email address, unlike me, then you can type it in there and type in password and stuff. And yeah, So you go through that and then click on place order, and what will happen is it will email you a link to your download. So this is the kind of email they're going to send you, which is going to be like, thanks for shopping with us, blah, 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 blah. And there's a little download section. You click on Pulse Windows. We'll get there. Don't worry. We will get there. Log yourself in with the username and password, the email and password that you just created your account with. For those of you doing the, without spoiling anything, project, I'll put this file in the Google Drive. Okay? So you don't have to worry about going to the Lancaster website and downloading this. I'll just put the Pulse plugin in there. I think I already did for Ryan anyway. Click the downloads button. You've just logged in. You've gone through the cart procedure, and there it is. Pulse for Windows. Give that a click. Now we need to get a cabinet to put in the loader. We need to get an impulse response to put in the impulse response loader. I hope you're keeping up with the terminology. I'm getting very confused. The impulse response I'm going to use, I think, is called the world's best impulse response. Let's type it in. Ah, there you go. The best IR in the world. Told you. So I've clicked that link there on Google. And this lovely person here, all details mentioned in the video. Here's the download link. Give that link a click. And oh, it's a Dropbox link. So up in the top there is your download button. Direct download. So all these things we downloaded, we're going to go into them. So let's go into the impedance curves first. And we need to extract these. In fact, on your computer, it's probably not going to look like this. I'm using 7-zip, so let's do this a bit differently. So when you open these up, it will probably open up looking like this. Just open up a little window like that. And all I want to do is get those, copy them, and we're going to go into that VST folder we made earlier. The impedance curves don't technically need to go in the VST folder, but just for the sake of keeping things tidy, we're going to put them in there. So into Documents, VST, we're going to make another folder. We're going to call it Impedance Curves. You know what? I'm going to call it IC because I can't be bothered to spell out impedance curves. In that folder, plonk those things you just pre-plonked. Next, the Ninja. And these DLL files are what you're interested in. I'm on 64-bit Windows, so I'm going to take the 64-bit one. I'm going to copy that. Go to the VST file. This one, you can make a folder for it if you want, but as a standalone file, I'm just going to plonk that straight in there. There's my Ninja. Let's get the best IR in the world. Let's find that. Go into there. Because when you double click on it, this is how it will look for you. I'm not double clicking on it because it will look different and I don't want you to get confused. And I know you're getting confused. And I don't know if we need all of these. I'm going to grab all of them. Right click, copy. Go back into that VST folder. Make a new folder for the best IR in the world. I'm not going to type all that. The best IR in the world. Paste them in there. Okay, now, why is that not downloading? Come on, behave yourself. I think I might have actually already downloaded that before. So let's just pretend that we're on decent internet connection where the Pulse is actually going to download. There's going to be two folders, one for Mac, which says Mac, OS X, and the other one is for Windows because it's got a little Windows at the end. So go into that one. And into x64, this is for 64-bit. If you are on 32-bit Windows, you probably found that out when you was installing Reaper. Go back out of there and into x86. That's 32-bit, that one there. The rest of us into the 64 folder, x64. I hope you're still with me. Grab these two files, copy, go into your VST folder here. And we can just plonk them in there. Okay, so if we followed that all through, we made a folder for the impedance curves, we downloaded them, and we put them in that folder in the VST folder. We made a folder for the best IR in the world. We downloaded it, and we put it in that folder. We downloaded the Ninja amp. Didn't mean to click on it. We downloaded the Ninja amp, we put it in the folder. We downloaded the Pulse Impulse Response Loader, we put it in the folder. Now everything's in that folder. Reaper knows where that folder is. You're done. Close everything and launch up Reaper. Okay. I'm proud of you. You're doing well. First, we need to set up a device. So for me, the Yamaha. For you, could be the Yamaha if you've got one. Could be a Focusrite, could be a Roland, could be a Boss, whatever you're plugging into. So click the options menu, go down to preferences. This time on the scrolling list, we don't want to go into VST, we want to go up near the top under audio is device. Change the audio system to ASIO. And if it has got an ASIO driver, you'll see it here. So for me, Yamaha Steinberg USB ASIO. Now, I have come across, it's only happened with an electric drum kit, where I had to download something else to get it to work called ASIO for All. And I downloaded that, and that's how I got it to pick up the electric drum kit. But for all the guitar inputs I've ever used, they've got their own ASIO drivers. It should work fine. So if you're using Roland, you should see like a Roland ASIO driver in this list here. If you're using the Boss GT, I think it's the GT6, I can't remember. Ryan's got one, I think, or he was using one. Anyway, it came up in here. And the same for the Focusrite Scarlett Solo, I got one of those, and that came up in here as well. So set yourself to ASIO, set it to whichever device you got plugged in here, click OK, next, track. Click the track button, insert a new track. There's a grey effects button here, click that. This is what's going to show up. It's going to show you the list of all the stuff it can find in your VST folders. So there's a filter thing down at the bottom there, click in there and type in, we want to start with the Ninja. And there it is, Ninja by NALEX. Give it a double click. And there she is. Ah, oh, she's beautiful. Next, click add at the bottom, because we can use this. We can use this right now as it is, except it's going to sound horrible because it hasn't got a cab. Okay, you know what? That's not going to show me anything because I haven't got record monitoring on. This is very important. If you want to hear your guitar back out through your system, you're going to have to click record monitoring. There's a button here. Switch that on. See, at the moment, this is going to sound like absolute... To be fair, it doesn't actually sound that bad. But let's turn record monitoring off. Let's unarm that track. We need to add some more to this to give it some flavour. So, back in your effects window, click the add button. You need to add your cab. But before we add the cab, I'm going to add an impedance curve. So, we still use the Pulse Impulse Response Loader for the impedance curves, okay? So, type in Pulse. There it is there. There's two versions of it, VST or VST3, both will work. Give it a double click. This is what this looks like. There's a lot of information on screen. Just follow what I click on. At the moment, it's using the Pulse cab, but I want to use a different cab because this is what the Pulse cab sounds like. I think this is going to come through on the video. It's not bad. It's kind of meaty, but I want to use something else. So rather than using Pulse, we click the external IR button, and that'll bring up a little window. And now we're going to go to that folder that we made earlier. In Documents, VST, I see my impedance curves. And this is based off of 5150. The one I'm using in this example is version 2. Once you've loaded it in, you can actually switch between these just by clicking them in here. But yeah, so that's my impedance curve set in. Next, we need to actually add the cab. So click add again. Add another pulse. external IR, like we did a minute ago. Go back into your VST folder, into the folder we made for the best IR in the world. I hope you're keeping up. I'm going quite quickly. I'm not going that quickly. That was a joke. You're slow. Catch up. Click on, well, it's there it is there. Yeah, so with the ML Sound Labs best IR in the world, give that a double click. And now we have got the Ninja plugged in through an impedance curve into the best IR in the world. All of a sudden, the tone is a bit different. Not bad, not bad. There is something else we need to get. There is something else we need to get. When you're using virtual amps, you need to have a noise gate. So, this is going to be real quick. Just go back onto Google and type in G-Gate VST. There it is there. Download for 64-bit Windows. Takes no time at all. You give it a double click or click on the download and this is how it will appear for you. Grab that DLL file and stick it in your VST folder there. Job done. For that to appear in Reaper, you will have to close it and open it again, I think. So we're back in Reaper. You got your track. The effects window is now button is now green because you have effects in there. So click the effects button, click add, type in G-Gate. There it is. And now we need to tune our gate to the amount of noise that's coming through the hardware. So we've got our guitar plugged into our input. We've got our track laid out. And you're sitting here and you're going, nothing's happening. There's nothing coming up on the meters there. You have to click the arm button. There's one up here, there, or down at the bottom in the mixer. You've got an arm button there. And you see this gate is picking up a lot of noise. Cool. You can also, something else might be worth downloading, a tuner. Same thing as G-Gate, G-Tune. If you want to download that, you go ahead, type into Google, G-Tune, download, stick it in your VST folder. I've already got it, so I'm going to show off and just put that right in there. I'm going to put that right at the start of the chain. That's another thing. If you want to move things around on your chain, on your effects chain, just click and drag them. This is in this list here in the effects window is in priority order. So top, that's the first thing in chain. Go up to the Ninja. God, that is, I know it's a virtual amp, but that is a gorgeous looking amp. And you just muck around with your tone here to your heart's content. I mean, I kind of like a bit more of a articulated tone for that gentiness, so I'm going to bring the gain down a fair amount. Let's bring the bass up. It's even got a power amp knob, so it actually simulates like how much of the power amp you're pushing through. So you can get that real kind of saturated, analogy kind of what you'd have from an actual amp. It does actually make it sound quite a lot less digital. And that is your basic setup. I mean, if you download your backing track, this is for the people in the project. This bit is for the people in the project. If you go to the Google Drive, you download your section, and you just click and drag it into Reaper, it will stick it on a brand new track for you if you drag it there. Or you can add a new track and stick it in, and then you just gotta click record and play over the top of it. You know what? So let's do two things right now. Let's quickly make a backing track, and let's also see what the Ninja sounds like in clean. It's got a clean setting. Okay, when using these in clean, you will have to adjust your noise gate. In this case, I'm just going to turn it off. I'm not going through any. Oh, that's a nice tone. I don't actually have any effects running through this at the moment. You can download tons of free effects. Just Google them. Just type in, if you want a flanger, type into Google flanger pedal VST. Find one, stick it in your VST folder, add it to your effects chain, away you go. Reaper does come built in with some stuff. So for instance, if I want a delay, Reaper has got a delay there. Bring that down a bit, bring that up a little bit, that up a touch. Okay, a bit more of the wet mix. All right, let's quickly just make a backing track. Sorry, let's just do it. Let's come on a little journey with me. No, stop a second. Let's figure out a metronome quickly. So we're going to be playing in a 3/4. That's what that feels like. Reaper has this really useful thing, the tap metronome. You just click on it and you can tap it out. So that was a 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Turn the metronome on. Oh, you know what? I hate those clicks. Right click the metronome. You see it's got that capital A and 2 little A's. Change that to all little A's and it gets rid of that accented click. Cool, there's a backing track. As we've already got the amp set up, I'm just going to duplicate that track by right clicking duplicate. It's armed me on both of these, be careful of that. You see my meters turning up on both of these. Unarm one of those tracks. Let's switch my amp back to. I bet this is going to be really loud over the top of that. Hang on. Let's figure some stuff out. So I want that track a little bit louder. There's a volume control just here. So I'm just clicking and dragging that up. That's gone up by 3.4 decibels. Alright, cool. Let's fucking jam over that shit. So they were just pretending that this is like one of the backing tracks from the project. So let's just say theoretically we've recorded that and we're like, you know what, I've come way out of time because I can't hear that click because I couldn't, and that backing track is way too low, which it is. We're just going to delete that and we can go into our click by right clicking on it and we can adjust the volume of this. If I just bring that way up to that line, now that click is going to be right in your face now. So if I want to record now, you can hear that clearly. Much better. Once you're done recording, click stop, save, and bask in your glory, for you have recorded. I'm going to turn that metronome off because that's too loud now. Now stop playing. There we are. There you go. You've done it. You set up Reaper. Well done. I'm proud of you. That's all there is to it. Just to recap, we installed Reaper, we made ourselves the VST folder, and we put the VST folder into Reaper. Okay? And you download Ninja by NALEX, Impulse Response Loader, Pulse by Lancaster Audio. We downloaded the impedance curves from the Ninja NALEX website, and we downloaded the best IR in the world. And we downloaded G-Gate at the end of that because I forgot to tell you that in the first place. Once you've got those 5 things, you put all those into your VST folder, open up Reaper, add a new track, go to the effects button, add all those things that you just downloaded in this very specific order. So I've got my tuner, into the Ninja, into the impedance curves, into the impulse response loader, best IR in the world, into the noise gate. Oh, and I stuck that delay on the end, which kind of works. And there you go. There is your basic setup. For any of you that are in the project, I'm hoping you know what I mean by that. For any of you that are in there and just really cannot wrap your heads around this, and it's giving you a really hard time, and you just can't figure it out, Paul, then let me know and I will do it for you. And that's it. Hasn't this been so much fun? What a bonding experience it has been. I bid you goodbye, farewell. You've done well, my child. And I want to go to bed, so I'm going to do that. It's really late. It's really fucking late here. It's 7 minutes past 11. I don't stay up this late anymore. But thank you for joining. It's a good amp, this one. It's completely free, so I don't know why you're not using it, frankly. I think it's my go-to now. It's good. Yeah. Anyway, go away. Install your amp. Have fun. Whatever. This is Mike signing out. Bye.